Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Alpha Nation. So we're taking a little bit of a different, turn today. So we've got Greg on, as always. Liz has kind of disappeared, so don't know what's going on there.
It's the Haydn and Greg show now, mate.
It's a Haydn and Greg show. The lads are on.
It's much more feminine now that I'm here.
Yeah, exactly.
I bring that feminine touch that Lizzie B was really struggling to bring.
You beat me to it, eh? I was right on it. It was on the tip of my tongue and you just took it from me. Devastating. But yeah, so we're going to run you guys through what a typical consult, process is for us for, again, the majority of our clients. So we're going to be running over a 30-year-old woman or female and just taking you guys through the process we kind of go through with that, So all the questions we'd ask, and then we'll break that down a little bit more to what we kind of will think to ourselves about it, and then also do to, fix all the problems and stuff.
How we'd approach it.
That's the one.
And we'll do a few more of these case studies. If these take off, we'll dig a bit deeper into other ones. We'll do a few males, and then we'll get a bit more specific into things as well. But we'll start with the generalised female clientele that we kind of see.
The kind of the majority we get, really. So yeah, what do you say? We get straight into it?
Let's kick it off, mate.
Let's go.
Let's get cracking.
So, the first questions we're going to ask are just some of your basic details. So, Greg, would you like to run us over this case study we're doing today?
All right, so general details, so it's just getting names and whatnot. So we've got, I love throwing a good name in there. It's not the usual case studies that we throw at our meetings and that, but I got a little bit creative. Yeah, I've thrown some big names in there. Usually porn star names, but...
and that's going on the podcast.
Yep. Sorry, Liz. Don't edit that one out.
Mate, no edits this time again.
We've got Anita Morelove coming into the office today for a consultation. Obviously a female, as we said. She's 30-year-old.
Yep.
She is a lawyer, so... Very
spender.
Busy, successful woman. She's married, and believe it or not, with so much success, she's had time to pop out 2 children, a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old.
Could not imagine.
Yeah.
Could not imagine.
Yeah, I used to imagine that, and then I had a third. And
once upon a time, you're like, the third comes along.
So already, like, even from our general details, we're looking at it, you can go, okay, she's a lawyer, she's married, 2 young kids. We're probably already seeing some signs of stress straight off the bat, overworked. I'm going to predict that she's undersleeping, nutrition's going to be shithouse, and the rest of it. I mean, you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but generally when I see, 30-year-old female, successful job, married with 2 kids, you're gonna know you're in for a good one.
Absolutely. We're kind of on the back foot already, so yeah. This is where we're like...
We're assuming. How do you know, mate? We might get to it. She might be sleeping 9 hours a week, eating the perfect calorie macro balance.
I've read through the case
training.
Study. I've read through the case study. I know what's going on.
No one else has. Don't ruin it for the viewers, mate. We've got about 6,000 people that are going to listen to this podcast tomorrow.
All 6,000 of them are going to love this. There's a little bit more than 2.
Yeah. All right. So moving on from that, going into our goal setting. So this is one where I'll kind of ask what their goals are, but I'll assess things differently in my head. But you need to kind of attack someone's primary concern as number one. But then obviously we're going to have all these other ideas in our head of what actual primary concerns should be. Obviously they're all going to lead back to reaching her goal, yeah?
Well, I mean, it's the reason she's come to see you. So we've got to or come to see us. So we've got to take care of that first and foremost. We're obviously going to pick up other stuff that we do need to work on behind the scenes. So, there's obviously a little bit more into achieving a healthy kind of physique than just, our goal, we want to get down here. We might also have some shoulder instabilities or, just lagging muscle groups here, there and everywhere, or just other lifestyle things going on that we need to fix too.
Yeah. Plenty of things that should be addressed before you're trying to get absolutely six-pack shredded. And
there's a few, basics we've got to cover first. So, we'll obviously go into a bit of those
Yeah, well, I think we cover a few of them. So Anita Moorlove has come to us weighing 75 kilograms, and she wants to drop herself down to 65 kilos. So that's the kind of the overview of where our goal's at. We've got about 10 kgs to lose. We're then going to ask her, is there a deadline on this? She will say yay or nay. For this one, Anita's given us a 20-week deadline, so average that out. We've got about 0.5 kilos per week. We've got to drop.
Doable.
Nice simple math. And that's good. That's kind of the range we like, right? Like between half a kilo to a kilo, something like that each week is pretty good. And the lower end, even better. That's awesome.
It's just a lot easier to stick to it, a lot more sustainable.
Yeah, exactly right. So obviously you need a why. So why does she want to achieve it? It's a bit of a health thing and a self-confidence thing. So Anita's come to us. Obviously she's been not prioritising her health of late. She obviously had a lot of study to get through for law. She's got 2 kids, all the rest of it. So she's been busy. Priorities have been elsewhere. So I think now she's at a point in life where, she's balanced everything else out. She reckons she's going to have a good hard crack at this. So health and self-confidence are her why she wants to get back down to 65. Feel good about herself. Just the general kind of thing, like everyone wants to, yeah?
Most people.
Only thing that stopped her is a lack of commitment and prioritisation in the past. So there's no major hurdles. She hasn't had back surgery or anything like that that's stopped us from achieving this. So we know there's nothing major that's going to get in the way. Anything that's going to get in the way is going to be a fixable thing. So we break it down. It's specific, 10 kilos of body weight. We kind of went over that. It's measurable. The best way to track weight is on the scales, right? So we can measure things with our weekly check-ins. She can jump on the scales a couple of times a week, give us an average. Achievable, we're probably going to find out once we go over everything else. So I never really tick that achievable box off until I've covered everything. And then sometimes we cover goals early on, we cover it straight after general details, but I might go through everything, have a bit of a word to this person, and then we might have to readjust these goals based on, we could, sometimes it might even be you don't need 20 weeks for that. We could do that in 10. Very unlikely. I'll speed a goal up. Yeah. But there's a possibility. But usually it's hey, look, you got a lot of things. We can do it, but you've got a lot to change. Are you going to be willing to? So that's when the realism comes into it. Is this goal realistic? Yes. So after we've gone through everything with Anita, we have realised, she's happy to make the changes we've discussed. So she's going to nail it, and timely. Obviously, there's a deadline on it of 20 weeks. Yep. So there's our SMART goals. We've covered all that, and we're moving on. You got anything else to add to that, Haydo?
Nah, that's all pretty good.
Yeah, so, I know. I'm pretty good at this.
You've been doing it for how long now? Come on.
Probably almost your whole life, mate. Not far off.
Yeah, not far off it, eh?
Over half your life, anyway.
Definitely.
It's almost half my life now, I was thinking about it the other day.
Crazy. You're going to get to the point where you spend more time of your life being a PT.
Hopefully I retire by then. So I've got about 3 years to retire, 4 years to retire.
Oh, mate. Semi-retired already.
Yeah. Well, COVID's more than
that one.
Semi-retired, mate. It's 2/3 retired.
Burst your bubble.
Yeah, exactly. So then after that, we're obviously going to start moving on to her lifestyle, her nutrition, things like that. We've got to see where she's at and basically assess where we've got to go from there to attain these goals. So first thing that we focus on is sleep. So everyone knows sleep's a biggie. If you're sleep deprived, your mood's going to be shithouse. Mood's important because we need motivation to exercise, right? Most people aren't just disciplined enough to run on 4 hours sleep and get up and exercise each day.
Yeah,
exactly. It's just not going to happen. So that's the biggest one. I know when I've underslept, if there's ever a day I'm going to skip my workout, it's when I'm running sub 7 hours.
Absolutely. Had too many
I will find any excuse. Alarm goes off at the 4 a.m. I'm I'm going to go to 5 and I'll just go to work.
Just
skip the workout. Exactly.
We've all been there.
And then the other one, the few other things like hunger. We know that it screws with your leptin and ghrelin levels, so they're your hunger hormones. Ghrelin obviously being the one that ramps up the appetite. Leptin obviously brings it down. So we know sleep deprivation will throw them out of whack. You'll just constantly crave food all day, every day, usually sugary, like processed shit that's just super calorie dense.
Anything that's, going to get you those calories in, you crave.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The salty, sugary foods.
Yeah. So that's the other thing why we want to sort of keep an eye on sleep and get it to that 7 to 9 hours. Immunity as well. Like we want to, if someone's getting sick, how the fuck am I going to reach a goal when they're sick every 2 weeks? Yeah. Oh, sorry, Greg, I skipped out on everything this week. I had a flu. Oh, fuck, there goes a week. So
a week we could have been losing weight.
Yeah, exactly. So there's another reason to get our sleep in. And the other thing as well, like, I don't know, I like coordination. My thing is like, if I've had a shit night's sleep or just one of those nights where I haven't got enough sleep, I've kicked my toe 3 times, I've dropped a cup before I even leave the house, I know it's a shit day. So like that's just accident prone, right? Like, and being shit coordinated and accident prone, I could get injured.
Yeah. I dropped a weight on my foot when I was doing a work experience with you, remember?
There you
go.
Time? Yeah,
I was like a 6 o'clock session in the morning.
If you break your foot, what happens? You're out of action for like... Yeah, exactly. So there goes another week. You've been sick because you're not sleeping. Yeah. Your mood's shit, so you've missed a few workouts along the way. Your hunger's out of control, so you're just fucking devouring everything. And then you've broken your toe and you missed 2 weeks. So we've just thrown out fucking 10 weeks of our 20 and we've fucked the whole goal.
Yeah.
So that's enough bullshitting about sleep. But let's have a look at her sleep anyway.
Yeah, we'll go into her sleep.
Yeah.
So, typical bedtime. Usually about 11 o'clock p.m. and she usually wakes up at 5 a.m. So already, straight off the bat, she's spending 6 hours in bed. That's,
It's not enough time in bed.
We're already wincing at that. That's not even sleeping, So obviously, it's going to be a fair bit less than that. It typically takes her about 30 minutes to go to sleep and will wake up 1 to 2 times a night for about 10 to 20 minutes. Because of her children. This usually leaves us about 5 hours of sleep a night. Which is, we're already wincing at that. We're cringing. We're like, we should probably fix that first up.
Yeah. So this is exactly where like all those benefits we just talked about.
Gone.
We'd drum them into her though. Like we'd explain the situation. So what we just said then about sleep deprivation, all the issues it's going to cause, we'd highlight the importance of sleep like we have for every other listener just then. Everyone else is going, oh shit, maybe I do need to sleep 7 to 9 hours now. So, and then that 7 to 9 hours is based on like a 7 hour, someone like our Anita More Love here, 7 hours is probably going to cut it for her. When we've got someone that has some serious goals, we're trying to get to that high end of 9 hours. Absolutely. Basically because they're expecting more out of their body, so give them more sleep.
Recovery-wise, stress relief-wise, we need a bit more.
Yeah, exactly. You want more out of your body, you got to give it more recovery. Simple as that. So her main cause of waking up was the kids. So there's not a lot, like that's, I mean... You can put a pillow over their face. That's usually what I do with my kids.
It's going to end you up somewhere you don't want to be for a couple of years.
Hey, she's going to get plenty of sleep. Work won't be a problem anymore. Kids won't be a problem anymore.
She can focus purely on gym.
Train in the yard every day.
Yeah, exactly. Mate, her food's made for her. Doesn't need a meal prep.
Exactly. Exactly right.
The more we talk about it, the more prison's starting to sound like the paradise.
It's sounding like a holiday, really, isn't it? So the way... We'd address why the fuck is she going to bed at 11 p.m?
Yeah.
So, is it work? Is she working late? Is she just up watching TV? Let's identify why she's going to bed late, and then let's identify why she's getting up at 5 a.m. 5 a.m, is it because she just wakes up at 5 a.m? Or is it because she's got to get up for work? So is it something that a variable we can control? So if she says, oh, no, I just get up at 5 because I just got in the habit of doing that, then I'd say, well, what time do you have to be up? What time are the kids awake, basically? And she could say 6 a.m. Cool, we just bought an hour in the morning, so that'll take us up to 6 hours. And then we'd identify, okay, why 11 p.m. at night? She goes, I just don't go to bed, I just stay up. Blah, blah, blah. Cool, what time could you go to bed? I could probably go to bed at like 9 or 10. Sweet. There's our 7 hours.
Nailed it.
So it's just a matter of prioritising your sleep. That's usually what it is. Like, I'm guilty of it as well, man. I could, some nights I can just sit up watching a few too many episodes or whatever stupid Netflix shit I'm watching at the moment. I don't even know what I'm watching at the moment. So the secret is don't get caught up in a series.
Oh, no, you just want to keep watching it, hey.
Sleep is gone. I remember when Jess and I started watching Peaky Blinders, man. I reckon I was running on 6 hours sleep a night when we started watching that. Just one more episode. More episode.
It's how it gets you too. Like, I'm watching Archer at the moment. And
I started watching that the other night.
It's so funny,
Man,
hey.
It's what, like almost 10, 15-year-old?
Yeah.
Or something, isn't it?
I remember Dad watching it when I was younger too, and I'm like, this is dumb.
But, I didn't get into it. I just watched like one episode.
It's fucking hilarious. Anyway, like, I'll just let it play, and then I'll fall asleep, and then I'll wake up, and I'll go back through the episodes that I've missed.
Straight back into
it. It's like, that's how it gets
TV's the killer, hey? And
Absolutely.
sleep is a big, like, humans are creatures of routine, so, like, sleep's a big thing as well. If you struggle to fall asleep, then just the fact by starting to go to bed, start creating a bit of a routine leading to bed. If it was her children, like, keeping her up and stuff like that, it's fine for someone like me to give advice because I've done it 3 times round. Like, all my kids are, 2 of them are older than her kids. So I could give some parental advice. You, Haydn, you go, well, how about this for your children? She'd just go, shut the fuck up, man. What do you
don't know what you're
child?
talking about.
You're a child yourself.
Yeah, exactly. This used to work for my mum.
Yeah, exactly. I'd be like, all right, look, it's the same rules apply for kids as it does for us.
Yeah.
Like, create a routine around their sleep. I know for our kids, it's like, it's not the best way to do it, but we will allow them to, like, dinner time, they jump in the shower, and then it's, all right, you watch TV till 7:30, get your shit organised to go to bed.
Yeah.
And that's every single school night of the week. Our kids are asleep by like 8:30 at the latest, and they're fucking up and at them at 6:30 ready for school. So, like, we're exactly the same. All we've done is create a routine, a nighttime routine. It doesn't even have to be like I'll do my gratitude log. I'll read a book under a dim light with my blue light blockers on. Like, it doesn't have to be that shit. Obviously, that's all helpful stuff. But it's just the fact. Yeah. Just
I've
make
got
a
this
routine.
set time every night. I'll turn my TV off, then I'll have a shower, brush my teeth, go to bed.
Exactly.
Something of the sort.
Your body will pretty much just go, oh, we're getting in a shower. That usually means we're going to be getting ready for bed in the next hour. Start spiking your melatonin levels. Or if you're like me, just pop a couple melatonin pills. And it doesn't matter about routine.
Exactly. Just
10 milligrams of melatonin, it doesn't matter what time it is. I'll fall
20 minutes later, you're asleep.
So, I mean, don't rely on supplements, and definitely don't rely on sleeping pills and stuff like that. But I mean, that's the doctor's job to worry about that one. So yeah, just routine on sleep. We mentioned all the benefits and whatnot. So I'd probably have a bit of a stern talking to Anita more love and tell her Anita more sleep might be the situation there. Dad jokes 101. What was my dad joke yesterday in the group chat? Was that appropriate to say?
Nah.
Probably wasn't appropriate.
It wasn't. I know exactly what you're talking about.
That. Yeah. I had a good dad joke though, didn't I?
It's bananas.
That was not appropriate.
So after we kind of touch on her sleep, go over all these kind of techniques we can use to get her into a routine, get her, in that, we'll usually go over our nutrition and our hydration next. Now, I've looked over this nutrition and hydration kind of table. I'm gonna let you break it down for us because
it's pretty good one, isn't it? She's well. So normally, like perfect world. Normally, we'd have someone start logging a bunch of stuff for us two weeks leading into the consultation, because 2 weeks gives us a better snapshot of what's actually happening. We can average everything out over 2 weeks. Most of the time, that doesn't happen. It's kind of like, hey, can I have a consultation tomorrow? All right, shit, come sit in my office. Can you remember what you've done for the last 3 days at least, sort of thing?
Yeah.
But perfect world, we'd get someone 2 weeks before and say, all right, start logging this, and this. Nutrition obviously being one of them, and then we can kind of get an idea of where they're at with nutrition. But with Anita, she's done that for us. She's pretty routine with her eating already, so that's one good thing she's got going there. She starts the day with a double shot coffee, couple sugars and soy milk in it, 2 pieces of toast, peanut butter on a toast, no butter, no margarine, anything like that. That's just quick on the go, out the door sort of thing. She's worrying about the kids of the morning. She's then at work, busting ass, saving all the criminals and whatnot, whatever she does.
Saving all the criminals.
So she doesn't have a lot of time on her hands. So just smashes another coffee, exactly the same, double shot, couple sugars, soy milk. That seems to be the go-to in Anita's day. Anita more coffee.
Anita more coffee. Needs less coffee.
Lunchtime rolls around. She's having a tin of tuna just in your normal salad, no dressing or anything like that. And believe it or not, another coffee.
Let's go. Mate, when I tell you boys are stressed, it's they're not lying.
They're not lying, right? And then, but you have a look at this. What's the main reason she's needing caffeine? She's sleeping fucking 5 hours a night, right?
Exactly.
So we can probably resolve the caffeine addiction once sleep kind of takes it. And then she might not be falling. Again, we've identified why can't she fall asleep at night. Maybe it's because she's having a fucking double shot of coffee at the end of the day just before dinner.
Yeah.
So, So then dinner rolls around. She has a decent dinner, as most of us do. Meat, veggies, that type of thing. But she's had a coffee with that as well, just trying to get through the bath time, bedtime for kids, I think.
I don't understand people who can drink a coffee and go to bed, hey. Obviously Anita can't,
Yeah, man, there's people,
there's heaps of them.
Man, it's obvious, but in saying that, if people were having instant coffee, the amount of caffeine you get in a little teaspoon of instant coffee is probably not an effective as minimal. And if it's someone bashing 8 shots a day,
it's definitely not.
Does it really have any effect?
It's going to be negligible. It's going to be water on a duck's back, really.
Your tolerance to it, so, but still not recommend. I would avoid all stimulants post 3 o'clock. If possible. Yeah. Because generally your caffeine's got about a 6 hour-ish half-life. So if she knocks it off at 3 o'clock, then we know the stimulation is gone.
Half is gone. Half is she's got half as much caffeine in her system by night.
Exactly. But an effective amount of caffeine,
is a lot less than that too. So yeah. So
you try and cut your stims later in the day. I would definitely just be you enjoy coffee would be my thing here. So, and then she's drinking fuck all water too, which is a big one for us. So, with the 4 coffees, I don't know, how much fluid would you get in a coffee? Let's say 200 ml.
Yeah.
Yeah, so even though everyone says, coffee's a diuretic, so it cancels it out, you're drinking fucking 200 ml of water. It's not that much of a diuretic that it's fucking... Otherwise, people would just have caffeine instead of needing diuretics for drugs when they have fucking issues,
Literally.
It's not that effective.
Why even make
yes, it has a mild... Yeah, exactly. Yes, it has a mild diuretic effect, but it's nothing significant enough for us to worry about. So if she's getting 4 coffees, 800 ml there, and then she's having 600 ml of water, just drinks a 600 ml Mount Franklin each day too. So, I don't know, do the math on that. 1.4 litres. So someone her size is dehydrated. Most people would need more fluid than that in a day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So again, we would go, dehydration on top of sleep deprivation. So if we talk about the main thing I would mention to her with dehydration is just energy levels.
Yeah.
So I don't know, everyone's been dehydrated. Like a hangover, perhaps. Like one of the main instigators of a hangover is dehydration. What do you want to do when you're hungover? You're not going for a run. You're not going to the gym.
Absolutely.
You're not going to make good decisions. You're curled up in the bathroom next to in the shower next to a toilet.
Yeah.
So
let's do it.
that's generally how most hangovers go, and that's obviously we're talking probably not to that standard of
obviously
dehydration, but she's moderately dehydrated drinking what she's drinking,
which can still obviously make her feel lethargic, not wanting to exercise more than she needs to.
Yeah, so that energy levels would be shit. That's one big thing when my energy level, I don't track water, I just drink upon thirst, or actually I don't drink upon thirst. I don't get thirsty, basically. I don't allow myself to get thirsty.
Drink enough.
Just drink. Yeah, I'm just used. It's just habit now. But I know when my energy levels aren't great, it's because generally it's either sleep or water intake for me. They're the two that get me. So, and then she kind of, yeah, exactly. She kind of alternates between that and another similar day. The 4 coffees again. She has special K cereal with a soy milk for brekkie. She chucks a muesli bar in on the go. And then she has like spag bowl for dinner or something like that. Same again, fluids and that. So those 2 days were pretty similar all round for the 2 weeks that she gave us. Yeah. But as you can see, like I look at that and the only time I really see a decent amount of protein going in is when she's having tuna, chicken and spaghetti. Yeah. That tiny little tuna tin she's eating. That's a tongue twister, mate.
Tuna tin.
Yeah. Isn't going to make up for the lack of protein for the rest of the day. And then a little bit of chicken for dinner too. Like she's having 100 grams of meat for dinner and then a tuna salad, a little bit in the peanut butter, a little bit in the cereal, tiny bit in the muesli bar, nothing significant. So she's actually like, depriving herself of protein too.
Deficient.
So, yeah.
That's
deficiency there.
For,
again, another deficiency.
Another deficiency.
So then I'd point out the importance of protein. Main 2 things that we're going to point out is satiety. So it keeps you fuller for longer. And then the increased lean body mass as well. Muscles being numero uno. And then bones, tendons, ligaments, everything else. That increases too. Which then increases our metabolic rate. So
the more active tissue you have.
Yeah, exactly. Burning more. So there's the importance of protein. She's pointing out a lot for us to sort of change. The way I would sort of start addressing this is I would want to address one thing at a time. She seems like a really busy person. But if she really wants to hit this goal, I would say, okay, here's everything that could be adjusted. Here's what I would want to do. I would prefer that we just sort of start with one. Let's see how we go with improving our sleep for the next few weeks.
Well, you can't overwhelm yourself or your clients either.
Exactly.
Like
she's already stressed through the roof, man. Yeah, like
she's already juggling so many things. You don't want to give her another 5 things about her health she needs to worry about. Give her one thing. We need to fix your sleep first. Then we'll focus on everything else. Or, Yeah,
exactly. So, but if she's dead set on wanting to achieve the goal, then I guess we've kind of just got to go with it and achieve the goal, don't we?
Right. She's the boss.
Yeah. So, but number one thing already I'm looking at is I just want to address sleep. I can almost guarantee once she starts addressing sleep, and then we can start addressing a few other things because she's going to have the energy to do them. So, but obviously the protein's a big thing there too. So it came down to an average of 70 grams of protein a day. She's smashing about 150 grams of carbs a day and 35 grams of fat. So she's probably a little bit fat deficient too.
Yeah.
Looking at that. And it came to about 1,200 calories a day average.
Which
so under eating
is under eating.
Yeah. So you can basically assume most people need more than 1,500 calories a day. It's pretty rare that someone needs under as their baseline. Yeah. So at 1,200 calories a day, she should essentially be losing weight, right? Like that's what we would class as an energy deficit. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you got anything to add to any of that?
No, you're pretty well nailing it, eh?
No. Yeah, no. Like a ram set, mate.
What can I say?
Then we'll move on to lifestyle and exercise. So you want to run over that?
Oh, I also wanted to mention actually, because I did have another look. She's not taking any supplements either. Yeah. So would you recommend her take any, open to it, or where would you go with that?
Look, if I kind of let people, supplements are one of those things. They're a supplement, right? Like. There's no, it's not a necessity. They're not called necessities. They're called supplements to supplement. She obviously would require supplements because her whole fucking life is shit. But it's not, if she's asked the question, it'd come down to, I go, do you take any supplements, Anita? No, do you think I should though? I'm like, oh, look, there's a possibility, like, we obviously are low on protein. We could possibly look at a protein supplement. That'd be the first thing I start with. You'd recommend like your generals, things like your multis, maybe your fish oils but I mean, I don't give a shit. Do them if you want, don't do them if you don't want. That's not going to affect things too much. We're going to try and focus. We're going to give her plenty of advice about her nutrition to sort of get all the nutrients in. So supplements aren't a major issue. We can obviously see she likes a quick on the go. She doesn't really like, or doesn't have time, I should say, to prepare meals, so it doesn't really appear to be the case anyway. So obviously like a protein supplement's probably going to come into play because I can give her a quick smash out a protein shake and some berries and some nuts for brekkie or something on the go.
It's easy.
It's easy for her to do. Might even require another protein shake later in the day or something if she's having 2 a day. No big deal. At least we know she's getting a protein target and things like that. So it'd definitely be a suggestion. Once we started delving into the nutrition side of things, that'd probably be one of the advices I give.
Yeah.
But you never push supplements, man. Like, you know better than anyone. They're supplements.
You don't need them. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We'll try and fix your diet first. Here's what we can work on. If you're open to it, you got the cash to splash, then these might be some good ideas. Otherwise, we don't need them. They're not necessary.
Exactly right.
So we'll talk about the lifestyle and exercise now, which is personally my most confusing one on this list. Just trying to jump between everything, but it's a bit of a long-winded one. So we start off with just like lifestyle questions about a job, stuff like that. So how many hours do you work a week? She's working 60. We ask her, how active is your job on a scale of 1 to 10? So 1 is sitting all day, 10 is extremely active, like you're a tradie or something like that. She said 0, so sitting all day.
She's sitting on her ass all day.
She's lying all day, actually, by our scale, but wonder who wrote this. Then we also ask if you travel or you commute to work and how long, like minutes per week. So she said no. Obviously, she's working pretty close to home, like still Central Coast-ish area, not having to drive to Sydney or anything. Then we asked, do you enjoy your job? And we get a lot of mixed answers on this one. But luckily, Anita does enjoy her job. It does not include shift work, and she typically gets about 2,000 steps a day. Which, would you like to break this down now, or will we talk about this after?
Let's just break down everything you've kind of gone over there first. So obviously we look at the work because then we get a scope of how, like, if she overdoing it, how much time does she have spare in a day, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. She's working 60 hours. So again, we go, holy shit, man. Like this woman is stressed. Like she is overdoing it big time. So we kind of like, that gives us a bit of a screenshot at like, okay, she's already got a lot of stresses in her life, so let's not flog the shit out of her. Yeah,
let's not give her one more.
We need to give this woman some TLC, right? Like, so this is your typical person. Like, we'd probably say like, okay, let's not hammer it in the gym. Let's just get in there 2-3 times a week. If time allows that. If it doesn't, whatever we can do. If we can get you out walking, obviously your steps are fucking low, so we want to get her out walking and moving. That's probably our typical client where we'd be like, all right, let's really nut out a bit of a plan here that's going to work for you and be sustainable and not burn you out even more than what you already are. We need this to be a positive thing, not a negative thing.
Oh, for sure.
So a job, she's sitting on her ass all day or lying.
Lying down all day.
She's not commuting for work, which is a good thing because if we had a 60-hour work week and then we had to throw commuting on top of it,
that's an extra 2 hours a day.
We could have a 70-hour week like that. And when the fuck are we going to fit exercise into that? Like she's got to see her husband and kids. She's got to eat. She's got to sleep. Okay, like,
so we're kind of out of time.
you're curling dumbbells in the court.
Just while you're driving, we'll just get you doing like those hand. Oh, what are they called? The hand grips,
squeezy,
grips? Or something like that.
Nice. Yeah, that's safe, right? Something. You can drive and have one of them in each hand. That's fair play.
Yeah, both hands. I don't know how it'd work. I don't know.
And then the reason we ask if she enjoys a job, like if she spent 60 hours doing something she hates, again, that's an even bigger stressor.
Yeah.
Like
Think
if
of
you
the
spend a lot
mood
of time
after
doing
that.
shit you hate, yeah, exactly. She'd just be miserable.
Yeah.
So at least she enjoys it. She's spending a lot of time doing something she enjoys. Generally, like most people don't really enjoy their job. It's just usually a yes. If you don't hate your job, it's usually a yes.
Yes. If you do hate
I enjoy my job, but not when I have to do 60 hours a week of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I'm enjoying
everyone
my job.
enjoys something, but too much of a good thing's not a good thing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So so it's a good thing that she enjoys it. That's shift work. Obviously, we should do a case study on a shift worker because man, I work with a few shift
It's a nightmare,
workers.
isn't it?
It is. It's just. I mean, you get the job done, but there's a lot of ups and downs. There's no routine, so it typically like
it's kind of harder to pick when we need the TLC or we need a kick in the arse. Like
exactly. When someone ticks the yes box on or if I hear them say yes to the shift worker, I instantly just go, shit.
Here we go.
All right, so those goals, let's double that timeline. You can always get it done. It's just obviously harder for the person doing shift work. That's their problem, you know. So
that's not our problem.
yeah, not our problem at all. And then the steps. Yeah. The steps, obviously 2,000 a day. That's just shit. I think everyone knows the whole buzz is sitting is the new smoking. So get up and get moving. Doesn't have to be exercise. Just walking will cut your chances of dying of. I don't know. I saw Lane Norton post the stats on it the other day. It was walk. It was in miles. So walk X amount of miles a day will cut mortality risk of X, Y, and Z by fucking I don't know. But walk. It's really good for you.
Yeah, apparently. Look, all the experts are saying it. So are we.
So that'd be another thing straight off the bat. We know we can't change your work. Work's work, right? That's got to be more important. Family and work usually come before us and what we have to say. So we go, okay, if there's family time, there's work time, and then there's us. Whatever time we can get allocated, we'll take it for what we want to achieve. And then those steps, like instantly, I'll be like, all right, we need a step goal. That'd probably be another thing. Like if she just said, I don't have a deadline, I'd probably just go, okay, sleep and steps.
And that'd
probably be the only two things I'd want to address initially because they're two simple things. Like they're not simple, obviously, but they're quite easy to do. She kind of explained that the sleep part of it's easy enough, and I mean anyone can get up off their ass and get some steps in.
I mean, once you get into the routine of those two, it sticks with you. Like it does just become habit.
Yeah.
So
yeah, exactly.
They're kind of the two easiest to just fix off the bat. You know, obviously there's caveats to that, but you know, they're generally the easiest two to fix, and they're the easiest two to keep, like, or to maintain while we try to change other things as well.
Definitely.
Yep. Then we've got the second half of the lifestyle and exercise, which talks about their exercise experience. Or Anita's exercise experience.
Or lack thereof.
Lack thereof, yeah, exactly. So we usually ask how much time would you usually spend exercising on a given day. Anita doesn't. How many times a week do we typically exercise for 0 minutes? And that's 7 days a week. And we also, if someone is exercising, we'll also ask what types of exercises do you usually do during the week. Anita doesn't, so we've got nothing to give you there.
Yeah, we'd normally get a bit of a breakdown of what they're currently doing too.
Yeah.
So
and also their routine, Monday through Sunday.
You get an idea of how many days they're training, how many sets, so we get a bit of an idea of their volume and their current training split. Yeah. So we get an idea of where they're at and where we can kind of go from there, which is always a good thing to know. There's no point just say I was only doing 3 sets per muscle group a week, and then I come to see one of us and we throw me on a 12 set program. Just start at 6, man. Like I'll get progress out of anything. You know? So it's good to know. That's the reason why we want to know where someone is currently training, and like someone's current state is the most important thing because that's the base of where we are. So
that's where we're at right now.
Yeah,
that's where we're
exactly.
working from.
Exactly.
So yeah, we usually ask for like the rundown. So what are you doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday through Sunday? Then obviously after picking apart that, we'll then ask them how many days they prefer to train per week and for how long. So a lot of the time we like to try and keep this the same as what the person had when they were coming in, because obviously they're still in that routine. They're used to training, say, 4 days a week. We're not going to, throw a spanner in their works and be like, no, you're actually going to train 5 days, or actually only train for 3 days. Like, they're used to training 4 days. We'll keep them on 4 days. And we'll obviously keep it as similar as we can, but also improve it, because we see some exercise routines come in. Yep. So we asked how many days would you prefer to exercise for a week, and Anita would prefer 3 to 4 days a week, which is a lot of days considering her schedule. I was quite surprised by that.
Good on you, Anita. She's keen, isn't she?
Oh, she's keen as a beansky. But it's also a good range too. Like, it's our happy medium. It's where we kind of want most people training as well. Then we ask what types of exercises you enjoy. So she likes to walk and she likes to do weights, which is very convenient for our case study today. We then also asked...
Couldn't make it hard. I had to make it easy for us.
Yeah.
I didn't want the first one to be
first
difficult.
One. First one, we'll just sit
most
here
people are like,
down.
how many clients have come to you that don't want to do weights or aren't coming to see you to do weights? Like, that's just who we train. Everyone we train is doing some form of resistance training, right?
I also make it clear during the consults, hey, we want to be in the gym doing actual technique work. Like, that's what you're hiring me for. We'll do weights training. The cardio stuff I can tell you to do, but I'm not going to stand with you on a treadmill for 40 minutes and watch you do cardio.
You don't want to stand there and watch someone do... Or, like, if they're on the rower, just sit on the rower next to them, or...
No way.
No. On the bike, just slowly pedal next to them.
Waste of my time, waste of their time, waste of money. Yeah, each to their
Very
own.
true.
I mean,
very true.
You do see some trainers do it.
That's not... If we had to do it, possibly, but I wouldn't... I don't mind putting someone through a hit sesh, but
hit sesh.
Yeah, I don't want to do you. I don't want to do you steady
state. Intervention and stuff, but yeah, like steady state cardio, just doing like a 40-minute jog on a treadmill or a 40-minute ride. I'm like, nah, we can switch this up a little bit. Yeah. But like
most people are capable of doing that alone.
Yeah, you don't need someone watching you just in case you do an unsafe technique on the treadmill. Like, who the fuck falls off a treadmill? I've seen one person do it at the gym. That's it.
Man, I've been at the gym for a good time now, and I've seen my handful. They're usually school groups.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Well, I mean, they're being dickheads on equipment. Usually
anyway. the year 10 lads that just want to pump it up to 30 odd Ks or however fast the treadmill goes. Just get spat out the back.
I remember the Eddie's teacher thought that I went to their school, and he's
really?
like, when I was doing the introduction and stuff. He's like, yeah, this is your such and such. Now, he used to be where you guys were at. And I'm like, I didn't go to St. Eddie's. And he's like, I could have sworn I've seen you around. And I'm like, nah.
Not me, mate.
Sorry, Bart. Wrong guy.
How embarrassing for him.
Yeah, back on topic. Anyway, we also ask what types of exercises you don't like or can't perform, unable to, whether that's through injuries or whatever. This is purely just so we don't get you doing something you don't want to do as well. Like...
Yeah, we try to make it as enjoyable as possible.
There's wiggle room. We might exactly. We need to do this, but and again,
there's no must do's. Yeah. I mean, we can always find something. You don't have to squat if you don't like squatting. You don't have to deadlift if you don't like deadlifting.
Yeah,
there's ways to do it. 100 ways to skin a rabbit.
Yeah, exactly. Which has conveniently also been left blank here. So. She does not have any exercises she dislikes or can't do. Still got free range.
Love it.
And we also ask how much time you'd usually spend outside during the day, and she's spending 0 hours. And
so no fresh air, no sunlight.
No.
So if I saw that, I'd probably tell her to go chat to a GP, go get a bone density test, and ask him about a vitamin D and calcium supplementation.
Yeah.
Because if she's not getting any sunlight, she's got to be deficient in vitamin D. If she's not she's not supplementing it, because we've asked that too. So, and there's plenty of perks to taking vitamin D.
Absolutely.
Bone health being the big one.
So yeah, that's all pretty covered. Ready to go on to the next? Next three
I
questions.
reckon that's pretty good. Yep.
So these next three are our little slidey questions, our little scales. So, yeah, with these ones, we like to just get a general idea about your energy levels, mood, and hunger levels. So the first question we've got is, in general, how are your energy levels from a scale of 1 to 10? So 1's terrible, 10's great. Anita put down 1. So, obviously, as we've already identified, yeah, we could have guessed it, but she's feeling very.
I thought she was going to be peaking. I thought she was going to be full of beans.
10 out of 10. She's so energized. So we could already kind of pick up on that. We also like to ask, how is your mood usually? So again, same scale, 1's terrible, 10's great. And we got a solid 3 here, which is better than 1, but it's not good in the slightest.
Generally, it just means generally she's not. But energy and mood usually always go hand in hand. Very rare I've ever heard someone say, "I'm full of energy, but I'm in a shit mood," or "I've got the best mood, but I've got no energy." They go hand in hand.
Yeah,
energy and mood they go up together. They go down together.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then we also ask for hunger levels, because this is usually going to be a pretty good indicator whether you're, I guess, feeling your body, feeling satiated enough during the day. So ask, how are your hunger levels on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being never hungry, 10 being constantly hungry. And we've got a whopping 10 here. So obviously there's some room in that nutrition we could work with.
Oh yeah, we kind of expected that, right? We talked about hunger hormones with sleep, and then under eating, lack of protein for satiety, blah blah blah.
All these factors working against us.
I was expecting some hunger. I reckon my hunger matches it at the moment. Actually, I'm fucking starving.
Yeah, we'll get this done. We'll get through it.
This podcast is delaying my lunch.
Yeah, we're almost done, mate. We're getting there.
Yeah, we're not far off.
So, do you want to break that down anymore, or?
Look, that's just a screenshot of, I guess people would call it biofeedback, how someone's energy, mood, and hunger levels are kind of represent what's going on. So, but we kind of, like we said, we predicted it through everything else. Generally, we'd use them as a gauge, as something, all right, we want to improve on them. When her energy and mood and hunger are all improving, then we know, okay, we're moving in the right direction. So when she comes in, I don't know, a month's time and gives me a check-in, and we go over energy, mood, and hunger again, and she goes, oh, my energy's up to 5, my mood's up to 7, and my hunger's down to 6, I go, shit, we're moving in the right direction. We're doing good things. Yeah. So that to me is more important than seeing like scales move. But like I said, her primary goal is our primary goal. So, I mean, she might look at it and go, I don't give a shit, I haven't lost any weight. I'd go, fuck yeah, man, I'd rather you feel good. But, I mean, the side effect of them improving is she's probably going to lose weight.
Yeah.
So that's definitely where you're going to go with that.
Kind of getting all their ducks in a row first and then moving with that.
Definitely.
So, next up, we like to talk about your stress and your stress management. So, I'll leave the tables yours.
So, typical stress, 1 to 10. 10 being stress through the roof, ripping your hair out. 1 being zen as fuck, charging your crystals with Coach Lizzie B. She gave us a 10, again, expected, not sleeping, 2 kids, 60 hours of work a week. We then asked what her primary stresses are. Go figure, working kids.
Probably the most common one I see.
Yeah, I think 99% of us with jobs and kids could relate to it. If you don't have kids, you'd say your job's probably the most stressful thing. The other thing you'd probably say most people won't never admit to it would be relationship stress. Doesn't necessarily have to be a spouse. It can just be a relationship with anyone.
Friends,
but work, kids, exactly. Work and kids are the 2 big ones, and then probably your relationships tend to come in a close third to them.
Studies as well. Studies are a high one.
Yeah, I put study into work. Work and study are the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. You just don't get paid to study.
Yeah, unfortunately. So you're going to give me that scholarship, or?
Yeah, seriously, that's scholarship. That's coming.
Uni.
It's in the mail, right?
Yeah, right.
And then how do they manage stress? So Anita doesn't have any stress management skills whatsoever. She's not doing anything. She just gets through life stressed. That's possibly where like the simple ones, where getting outside for a walk, big stress relief. We tick a few boxes. She's stressed through the roof. She's not getting any time outside. She's not getting any steps. I can knock off 3 birds with one stone by just saying, hey, just get outside, go for a stroll, get a bit of sunlight. There's another one, vitamin D. Boom, nailing it. Simple little walk outside. One stone. Who would think one little walk outside could do so much for this woman? Yeah,
exactly.
and then we also ask hobbies and interests. So Anita's told us she loves a dinner date with hubby. So the idea of that's a huge stress management. Doing things you enjoy is one of the biggest stress relievers ever. And like being social is probably one of the big things for that. So, I mean, you don't have to be out fucking sitting on a rock, meditating under the moon with Coach Lizzie B. I'm going to have so many stabs at her.
Oh, you're opening her right up now.
Yeah, exactly. She doesn't want to be here, so I'll take stabs while I can. So I would be like, hey, go for a walk. How about you and hubby try and plan a dinner date once a week? Something to look forward to, something to de-stress, and going to bring your stress levels right down. So that'd be 2 things for Anita that I would go for. The other big ones, like for me, massage, man. I love massage. Love my weekly massage. Do my little couple hours.
Rub.
Love a couple hours at work on a Friday. Duck off. Jess and I will generally go out for lunch. Boys are at school. We've only got Bowie. He's cruisy, having a 1 or whatever he is now, 14-month-old.
Winning.
That's cruisy as. So I'll duck off for a massage after. Jess will go shop and spend all the money I worked for that week.
Worked so hard for that week.
Didn't work hard for it, just work.
Spend all that money that you stood around and talked to people for all week.
Exactly, yeah. Hard-earned dollars, mate. Dealing with people like Anita, right? And changing her life, exactly. Mate. Changing her life.
Racking your brain.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, that's kind of all I would cover with that. You got anything to add to stress and stress management?
Nah, again, all the same stuff, really. Just try and get them doing what they enjoy. Get them doing their interests, get them doing the hotties. I also like to mention that being in the gym too is also going to be a good
exercise itself,
well. So, and then obviously we talk about the bucket, how you can only fill it so much. Exercise is still another stress, so it's like we're just going to have to keep the volume down because of this and this, but, you know, it's,
That's generally something, once I start going over the initial program, I'll probably make mention of like, we're starting quite low, you're already stressed through the roof, we don't want to add another major stressor to the equation, so we're going to just see how the body responds to this, and then we'll continue to build from that point. So we might discuss kind of where we'd start with the programming and nutrition and stuff like that too, if we got time. How much time we got?
I mean, we've been going for 55 minutes.
Shit. This is
I
a
know.
long one.
It's going to be a big one.
How's in the group chat?
No cuts
Liz
either.
and Britt were like, they were probably like, oh yeah, if you can fit 2 or 3 in. I was like, no chance, man. You're not going to get more than one case study.
We've got one case study in this one.
People stopped listening 20 minutes ago. They don't even know what's going to happen to poor old Anita.
No one's heard this bit. Like, come on. If you're listening...
All right, so let's just shoot through the medical history as fast as possible.
We'll get it.
So we want a snapshot of her health, basically,
Obviously.
So she doesn't smoke, she doesn't drink, she hasn't had any illnesses, past or present. The only thing she suffers is a bit of back pain. So we ask a few questions about that. Is it significant? No, blah, blah, blah. It's only from sitting down in a chair for 60 hours a week, not getting up moving. So that's where we might... incorporate like some exercises that are obviously going to strengthen the hammies, the glutes, things like that, the core, bit of mobility work, things like that.
Absolutely.
If it's something that's significant, refer out. Hey, go see your physio or your GP or chiro or whatever it is, whatever specialty
whoever you are seeing.
Or prefer to see. And then get some advice from them. We're just stupid PTs. We don't know about that stuff. So refer out.
I mean,
to all the PTs
obviously,
out there that think they're fucking geniuses and
we've got to
can
work
cure
within
all.
our scope still. So
Yeah. Stay in your lane.
no, not worth the liabilities.
Yeah. Oh, well, the liability of making this woman's injury worse, right?
Yeah,
like, she's
exactly.
already got enough shit going on. You go screwing her back completely, then that's on you. So, yeah, sweet. The back pain's not a major issue. She's got no other health concerns. She doesn't take any medications. She doesn't have any time for recreational drugs, and she doesn't take any performance-enhancing drugs. So...
Yeah. You could have picked it.
One other question, this isn't something we always ask people, but because it's a little bit invasive, I would ask her, though, about her bowel movements, just because of how shit her nutrition is, how dehydrated she is, and how stressed she is. They're all things that are probably going to screw up your digestion. So,
you can have a look at the nutrition.
I'd ask her. Yeah, I'd definitely ask Anita, how are your bowel movements? Someone like her, I didn't actually fill this out, but someone like her, people I've had similar to this in the past, they're probably going to tell me they're in this shit a couple times a week. So that's definitely something where you're like, all right, you might need to see a fucking GP about that too. Because if you're regular, you're going 1 to 2 times a day. Like, that's how your body gets shit out of it, literally shit out of it. That's your body getting rubbish out of it, you know? So that's something you need to be regular with your bowel movements too. It's an odd conversation to have, and people get embarrassed by it, but it's a health indicator. Like, you gotta be shitting right. If your shit ain't right, you're no good.
Your shit ain't right.
Yeah. And then you'd ask as well, it's not our place, again, we've got to stay in our lane. If they have any heart rate or blood pressure issues, we probably would have already identified it when we ask if there was issues, but you just run over it and double check that there's been no dramas there, because you go exercise on someone that's got a fucking sky high heart rate or blood pressure and they drop dead having a stroke.
You usually see the blood pressure medication too, or they're in their supplements at least, they'll mention it too.
There'll be something there.
Something to tick it off.
So there's no major dramas there. We've got all the relevant information. At the end of it, we ask anything else you think we should know. Most people say no, that was a lot more comprehensive than I already thought I would be sitting down to answer.
I didn't think I'd be grilled like this for 40 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. It's a bit invasive. Then we'll take down her weight, her height. If she wants to do measurements and that, she can do some measurements. And then that'll help us get an indication of her energy requirements. Yep. So we figured her out, jumped in our little TDEE calculator online. We put in age, gender, activity levels, weight and height, came back to 1,697 calories. Let's just say 1,700, so I don't have to keep saying that.
Yep.
1,700 calories, and I definitely would have just written 1,700 if I came up with that number. I do it all the time.
Mate, I'd do every number. So bad.
As her current, so that's her current
metabolic
TDEE.
rate.
We're going to be making her move more, and that obviously. More. So that, but then you've also got to take into account what she's currently doing is actually a screenshot of her current metabolic rate. If she's not losing weight eating her 1,200 calories, her metabolic rate is currently at 1,200. Like, that's her total daily energy needs, right? Currently. Yep. But we're going to change everything. So
we're going to throw in
we would... What would you do, Haydn? She's come to you with a goal of weight loss. Someone like her... do you think that jumping her calories up from 1,200 straight up to 1,700, would you do that?
It's a tricky one. I probably would, just because we're getting, I'll get it to 1,700, but because we're also exercising, that's also another, I guess, load.
Yeah, you're burning.
Extra calories burnt during the day. I would usually like to see 2 weeks at baseline, just to try and, I guess, get that metabolism back up. Generally, but then that still leaves us 18 weeks to lose the 10 kilos, which is plenty of time. So for Anita, I'd be more than comfortable doing that. What would you do?
Yeah, I would. So I'd kind of gauge. I'd give her 2 options. So I'd give her the option of, okay, hey, let's return to baseline calories. I'd see her eyes go and the shock.
Wait a second.
Okay, well, here's our other option. So then I would just say, okay, let's stay on current current calories are 1,200. That's shit. It's not good for you.
But then jump the exercise up.
Jump the exercise up, change a macronutrient profile around. I would definitely prefer to go up past 1,700 because once we increase, that's based on her current activity. Once we increase her activity levels, that probably jumps up to 2,000. So perfect world, I'd jump the steps up to 8,000 a day. I would take her calories up to 2,000 cows a day because I would assume it'd be somewhere in that ballpark of what her new TDE would be. She's going to feel way better on that alone. Give her, 75? Give her about 140 grams of protein a day, give or take a bit. I'd give her about 70 grams of fats a day, and the remainder can be made up of carbs, basically. And then they're just minimums. The fats and proteins, 140 and 70 grams, they're just minimums. She can go over them if she wants.
Yep.
And then leftovers can be made up of carbs, however she likes to do it. So that'd be something that I'd probably discuss with her.
Yep.
It's hard to know what direction because you don't want to stress someone out. I've had people like this in the past where it's kind of been a process of like, just trust me. All right, let's meet in the middle ground then. Let's just sneak it up from 1,200 to 1,400. Yeah. And guaranteed, man, they go, okay, I can handle 200 k's because you explain the whole metabolic adaptation. Your body's just not going to burn anything because it's fucking shut everything off. Blah blah blah. So yeah, ideally, I'd want to go up to 2,000 cow. Yeah. But whether Anita goes for it or not, let's say perfect world, she just puts all the faith in the world in us, as most our clients do. Most people do, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you come to us for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. I'd say she'd probably agree to it. Go, okay, look, my life is in your hands. Go for it. So okay, 2,000 cow. Yep. The protein and fat goal that I said, remainder can be carbs, whatever, blah blah blah. We'd increase her step count. Let's say, hey, let's shoot for 8,000 a day. That's a good sort of goal to start with. Absolutely. And then she said she's happy to get into the gym 3 to 4 times a week. So I'd probably start with 3 and give her an optional 4th. Say, hey, if you want that 4th, just repeat. We'll just give her 2 days to rotate between with her weights. Just sort of whole body workouts. Focus on your big compounds.
Getting my next question.
Yeah. Nothing major. So like an idea of it would be, and someone like her, so I know we're pretty big on like time efficient workouts. If she, depending on how much time she said she could give, obviously she's pretty time poor, but if she said, hey, I could spare an hour, I just don't prioritize these things, but now that I am prioritizing it, I can give you an hour in the gym. I'd probably stick to like straight sets because the stimulus of supersets and giant sets and circuits and HIIT training.
You don't want to get that volume up too high too quick.
Yeah, exactly. And there's just higher stress with that. So I just go straight sets. Let's just say if she's good, if we get in there and she's capable of doing all exercises, we could do some squats, some pull downs or assisted chin ups. So an upper body pull, lower body push, and then we could move into a leg curl, RDL, something for the hammies and glutes, and then we could move into some shoulder press or something like that. 4 exercises, 3 sets, 10 to 12 of everything. We alternate that with another day that's quite similar of, okay, we'll do some trap bar deadies, we'll do some leg press, we'll do some rows, and we'll do some dips, assisted dips or something along those lines. We could alternate those two. Again, same thing, 3 sets, 10 to 12 reps. Put a bit of core work in, obviously. We saw that we needed a bit of core work. A bit of time at the gym if she needs to jump on the treadie and get some extra steps in for the day.
You got room for that.
You know, like any mobility work, if a physio or chiro or whoever the hell she ended up seeing about the lower back gave her a few things to do. Hey, yep, you've got time allocated. That workout that we gave will only take 35 minutes.
Shouldn't take too long at all, really.
Yeah. So, and then we can build from that. So, all right, Anita, let's see how we go with this program. We've explained to her that we don't want to inflict too much more stress on the body. It's already pretty stressed out. We see some good progress. Her body's starting to come good. Her check-ins each week have shown some real positive results. Stress levels are coming down. Energy and mood are coming up. All right. We get people tracking like Yeah, we get people tracking their heart rates and their
variabilities
heart
and
rate
stuff.
variabilities and things like that. So we get a good snapshot of their stress levels. If we see that the body's handling what we're doing quite well, then we can go, okay, we can either reduce some calories because we're chasing weight loss as our goal. We could increase our step count, or we could increase our training volume. I'd probably start by increasing training volume. Just because I'd like to keep those calories in her because she's been in a deficit for quite some time. So that'd be my one thing. And then with her as well, being such a stressed individual, don't change too many variables all at once. Just see how we go for 3 to 6 weeks with this. Let's change one variable, see how that goes for 3 to 6 weeks. But I mean, again, we're working on that 20-week schedule, but because she had so much wrong with what she was doing, it's like all these simple things, we'd probably see great results. We'd have it down to 65 kilos pretty easily, I'd imagine.
Well, after we fix all the kind of trouble areas or problem areas, we'll...
Just as long as we had that clean slate for that 20 weeks, like nothing popped up, like a kid was sick. But you got to allow for that too, so like...
It does happen, yeah.
I mean, someone that's got kids, like most of the time why I will have some kind of hiccup in my routine will be children. Guaranteed kids. Yeah, it's always kids. So someone like her, you're going to guarantee hiccups along the way.
Don't have kids.
Yeah, don't have kids, mate. Don't have kids.
Don't have
or
kids.
if you do, just have like a full-time au pair or something like that. You know what an au pair is? A carer, yeah.
Is that like, carer, yeah.
Yeah.
Just have someone living with your kids, yeah. No, I've seen too many horror movies where that goes wrong, man. Like, not happening.
Yeah. What is it? My babysitter's a vampire or something, mate? Or my babysitter's trying to kill me or something like that?
Oh, is it something like that?
There's one on Netflix at the moment, I don't know.
There was this really good one ages ago on Stan. I just can't remember it, eh?
Yeah, right.
Anyway.
Yeah. All right, back on topic.
That's
So yeah, I think that kind of covers it.
Yeah, we've given the breakdown of the training we'd usually do.
And then, well, probably with the nutrition too. I guess we could probably look at that a little deeper. Like, I don't know. We kind of mentioned what we'd want to do with calories and macros and that. What sort, like looking at what she's currently doing, what sort of ideas would you be giving her? She obviously likes quick on the go. She's only got time or only prioritises time for one cooked meal a day.
Yep.
Where are you what sort of tips are you giving her to hit all these targets?
To hit those targets, I'd probably be going, mornings would be like some kind of protein smoothie with berries. Obviously, I'm not sure how soy milk goes in smoothies, do you know?
I've never drank soy milk in my life.
Yeah, neither.
I don't know.
I've got no idea. But yeah, obviously, like I'd give her something with like berries, some protein powder in the mornings, or just like an overnight kind of protein oats, just something you can grab on the go out of the house. Something pretty easy to eat. Then for lunch, I'm going to say like have a protein bar or muesli bar, but also some fruit with that, or some yogurt as well to help, or YoPro yogurt to help get some more protein in.
Yeah.
They're super good little easy snacks. You can just get, a good hit of 15 grams of protein. Am I ignoring the coffees here, or am I?
It's one of those things, like it's one of those vices that I don't like to take it away from people. Like I love you. We all know I love my coffee, so
obviously
I don't take it away from people. I advise them that drinking 8 shots of coffee a day
same page. I'm like, I will mention it, but I'm also not going to stop you from doing it because I've also been
make
there.
them aware.
Like,
it's not going to completely derail us. Like as long as we take it into account, but we make mention, hey, look, you're just spiking your cortisol all day, every day, but that you're only craving it because you're fucking sleep deprived and that. So maybe once our sleep comes into it, she'll just naturally stop wanting as much coffee. I usually like people to have no more than 2 coffees a day and sort of get it done early in the day as well.
Yeah, just knock them out, get that energy or get that spike in energy and then ride that. Then for lunches and stuff, instead of this, like I love the tuna salad. I'm all for that. Maybe add another tin of tuna or something onto it. Just give yourself some more food. I like
maybe
the chicken
like
rice.
A tuna and olive oil or something like that, so you get a little bit more of the good fats in there or something. Yeah.
Get a bit more fat.
Or add olive oil as a dressing. Chuck some avocado in the salad or whatever.
Yeah, it'd just be eating more but also changing up that brekkie a little bit just to include a bit of protein in it and make it a bit more balanced too. And also adding some more with that muesli bar because it's a bit of a sad snack, really. But again, like
I'd definitely
dinners.
look at the dinners are good. Like you could even make mention, hey, cook extra, have leftovers the next day.
Well, yeah.
So otherwise, I'd be
have a
talking
fridge
about
at work, it's easy to
pre-prepared meals. You could have your pre-cooked meals. I know there's 4,000 meal companies out there these days. Take your fucking pick.
They're all doing them.
Exactly. They all come with a calorie and macro breakdown. Yeah, but I'm with you with like the quick easy protein sources. I'd probably make mention of them because if we just added in the quick easy protein source, like say if we changed nothing on that diet and we just added a quick protein source to the first 2 meals on that other day and first 3 meals on the other day, you say, all right, with your toast and peanut butter, just have a YoPro yogurt, fast, easy protein source.
You get the squeezy ones. Squeeze them in your mouth.
In the car on the way to work.
Easy as.
Bowie loves them, mate. He sucks those things down.
I froth them so hard.
They're so easy, tasty too. And then like instead of a muesli bar, let's find a protein bar she likes. So like I love Quest bars. Not everyone loves them, but I'm all for them. So I'd say, hey, change that. Change it, but like that's a quick, easy on the go thing. Exactly. Bang, she's getting a protein in. I'd be wanting to add some fruit to it as well. Fruit's easy, man. Veggies is a little bit harder.
Veggies you got to cook a bit more.
Any fruit. Yeah.
Fruits are like literally just a meal in your hand.
Grab it and go.
I'm not going to say
grab
meal.
it and
That's
go.
Definitely not a meal, but a snack in
part
your
of
hand.
a meal.
Part of a meal. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
so
they're one of the easiest you can get up.
Yeah, definitely. With a special case cereal, have a protein shake. You know, there's another quick easy. So we've got YoPros or a quick easy protein. We've got a protein shake or a quick easy protein. We've got protein bars such as Quest bars, a quick easy protein. Like you said with the tuna, chuck an extra tin in. Tin of tuna is a quick easy protein. Yeah. So I'd be definitely looking at giving her tips for those types of things, and then fruit, whatever fruit she likes. So then just say, hey, throw a fruit in there.
We do also want to try and keep it as similar for you as we can. Like, if you're used to having that, we're going to try and make it as close to that as we can, plus some, minus some, somewhere in there. It also just makes it easier to kind of adapt onto too. You're not doing a full routine change where you're eating 4 home-cooked meals a day. It's like, this is pretty much the same as what I was eating, but it's just a little bit better.
So you mean we shouldn't be telling her just to eat chicken and broccoli for every meal of the day?
No. You get bored as on that.
There you go. There you go.
We're not all bodybuilders.
Yeah, Anita definitely is not.
No, not with that job. Not with those hours.
Yep. Exactly. I think that pretty much covers it.
That was good. That was really in depth too.
That was good. So. That was a lot longer than I expected. I knew it'd be long, but a bit longer than I expected it to be.
I thought it was going to take like a standard consult time, but then that and some.
No,
that
blew out. That blew out a little bit, didn't it?
Yeah,
I reckon that was good. We'll see. People can give us a bit of feedback.
Yeah.
Give us a few comments on the
even if you've got
social
case
media
studies you want us to do. So if you're in a kind of situation you want to send in your, what your parameters
we'll send you a consult. Or what about a live consultation?
Ooh.
If anyone wants to do a live consultation,
me and Greg will double team you on the camera. It'll be good fun.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah, we will. But without further ado, guys, that was our podcast for today. So as usual, thank you, Greg, again for being on this podcast with me. It's
not a pleasure. Not a pleasure, mate.
You can find us on Instagram. You can find Greg on Instagram at Coach Greg Wasson. You can find myself at Coach Haydn Thompson. And you can find Alpha Strength and Physique at Alpha Strength and Physique. It's all pretty self-explanatory. And I'm assuming you're already following us if you're already watching this. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. Stay safe, stay happy, and we'll see you next week.
Until next time.
See you guys.